Okay, hi guys. So this is intended to be basic instructions for new users of the iTerra Care wand. Um, this is the wand. It has three settings on this tab right here. Don't know if you can see that, but that's 1, 2, and 3. So to start off with, what are those three settings? So 1 is high fan. That's the air set to high, but the heating is low. High fan, low heat. 2 is low fan and low heat. And 3 is high fan and high heat. You'll figure that out pretty quickly when you start using it. So, which do you use and for what situation? Well, for the most part, the number 3, the high heat, high fan is going to be the most effective, the quickest to work. So, on most of your body, that's what you're going to use, the 3. The high heat, high fan. It's the most comforting, soothing. It's very relaxing, unless you put it too close for too long, and then it will burn. So, so I'll come to that in just a moment. So there's your three settings. So people ask how much you need to move it around and how close do you have it. Okay, so typically I will have my wand something like that distance, but whatever's comfortable for you, but typically I'll have it like that and I'll move it around kind of like this, like a blow dryer. Think of it like a blow dryer. Okay. Now, typically people don't ask, well, how close do I have to have the blow dryer and how quickly do I have to move it? It's kind of intuitive, right? And this is the same. It's kind of intuitive depending on the setting that you've got it on. Obviously, if you have it closer, then it's more powerful. But that's about fine for most purposes for me, about that kind of distance. And then you don't have to move it if you have it on a cooler heat. So if you're trying to work, let's say you've got a lot of pain here, you can just leave it there like that on a cooler heat. Okay, not a problem. On the heat on the 3, you're not going to want to do that because you'll be burning your skin pretty quickly. Okay, now if you're doing it on somebody else, just be careful. If you're, for example, doing a diabetic who's got neuropathy, they might not feel the heat, right? So you have the potential to burn them. So if you're working on somebody else who doesn't have feeling, they're numb in that area of their body for whatever reason, you either need to do it on a cool heat just to take risk away, or you need to make sure that you're keeping the one moving like so. Okay, so when would you not have the heat? Okay, well, the first time you're advised not to use it on the high heat is the head area. Okay, so you don't want to heat up the brain. So on the head area, for the most part, you want to have it on the cooler heat. Now, I do use the heat on my jaw here sometimes, but in your brain area, you really want to have a cooler heat. So that's one place you want the cooler heat. The second place, if you have any metal pins or implants of any type, breast implants, for example, you do not want to have the heat on that. In fact, you really don't want to stay on that area at all. You can pass it over, okay? But if you're a woman with breast implants, then you don't leave it on your breast or from the back, it will come through your body to your breast. Um, it goes up to 12 inches. So if there's not more than 12 inches through your body and you've got an implant here, you know maybe you need to be careful even from the back. Same would apply on your ankle or wrist. If you've got a pin here, then coming from this side, you'd still get the pin. Now you don't have to worry about passing over it, but do not stay there and do not keep passing over back and forth on the heat. Do not do that. Just stay away from pins and implants. You can work around the area, it will get to it anyway. Also, there are many people that would believe that if you work certain, so for example, the bottom of the feet, okay, that has connection points with various other parts of your body. I'm sure you're familiar with that. And so you can work the bottom of the feet and they would say that that would reach those other parts. And you can do the same on the ear and the hand. Hand, ear, and feet all have links around the body, so they say. So you can work those areas if necessary, if you want to reach the liver and you, for some reason they've got, I don't know, a pacemaker near the liver and you want to stay away, you can do that. Okay, so pacemaker is another thing you don't want to point at, like do the rest of the body, avoid the area where the pacemaker might be. Now, ideally, you're going to want to drink some charged water before you start any protocol. You don't have to do that, but you do get better results if you do. So charging water is pretty simple. You can charge, I haven't got a glass here or a cup or anything, but you can charge through the side of the cup or glass. So, you know, and it takes about 30 seconds to charge a glass cup of water. Now you can come from the top. From experience, if you have it on high heat, well, more to the point, high fan, it's going to move the water around, which I like to get the water moving. However, if you've got a fairly full cup of coffee, for example, you're going to get spillage coming from too close to the top. I've done it, I know. So you might be better coming from the side in that situation. Other than that, basically what you're going to do is you're going to point and shoot at problem areas. If you have a pain in your elbow, you're going to aim at your elbow, and you're going to move around your elbow like so, and maybe come up and down around the area of the pain. Okay, so sometimes the pain is not where the cause of the pain is. So that's why you don't just want to work the actual pain, but you want to come out, because oftentimes the pain is actually being caused somewhere a little bit away. So you're going to move over the whole area. Okay. If you're going to do your eyes, you can look straight in. There's a blue light that will come out of that. You can look straight into it, no problem. But if that's uncomfortable for you, then you can close your eyes. Usually with the eyes, you want it on a lower fan heat, because otherwise you're blasting, you know, air into your eyes. Or just close your eyes and do it like that. I'm not using it while I'm talking because it obviously makes a noise, and that's going to be distracting as I'm trying to explain stuff. So you can go straight into your eyes, and I just do it like this, and I come back. I'll often start with my eyes open, and then I'll close them after a bit, and I'll just come back and forth like this. You can do your whole face, and I tend to use the setting of 1 for that. I don't use 2 so much. I use, for the most part, I use 1 for the cooler with high fan, or 3 for the hotter with high fan. I might use the 2 if I had a particularly sensitive area, but generally I haven't got any such areas, so I don't bother much with it. But whatever feels right for you. And that's really it. It's not rocket science. It's not complicated. If you think of it like a blow dryer, how you would use a blow dryer, similar sort of thing to that. Just use common sense and choose the setting that feels comfortable, with the exception of the head where you don't want heat, or, as like I say, implants of any type. And there you have it. Very, very simple tool. It's one of the beauties of it, how simple it is to use. There are specific protocols for certain things, which can be extra beneficial. If you're a customer of mine, I will have already sent you a PDF. And if I haven't, for some reason, if I've forgot, then ask me for that PDF. And I will send it to you with the various protocols and stuff. For example, working up and down the spine can help to create stem cells, which can be very, very beneficial for certain things. So there are things that can be done, specific things that are a little bit more advanced, but for general use, exactly what I've explained is all you need to know. I hope that helped. Thank you very much. And as I say, if you're one of my customers or one of my team's customers, we give full ongoing free support. This is part of that support.